Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the YouTube. I'm going to walk you guys through a case study of exactly how my client, Noah, dropped 20 pounds in 50 days while working 110 hours a week. And if you guys don't believe me, it's literally a text from him saying that he worked 110 hours in a week. Like, let me just do the math on that. The hell is that? Like, if you're working 5 days a week, it's like 22 hours a day, right? And he was probably working on the weekends, let's be honest. But like, everyone that comes to me say, oh, I work 40 hours a week, he's working triple what you work, and he's able to get it done. And it's not because he followed any other system, it's because he followed the Daisy Flex protocol, which I'm about to walk you guys through right now. Exactly what we did so that you can implement it in your life. So before, it looked like this, right? Working 110 hours a week, no time to cook, no system, trying everything, and nothing stuck, right? Now, down 20 pounds in 50 days. Look at him, man. Look at him. He's diced now. Like, he looks like he could get on stage in a couple of weeks. Like, he looks awesome, right? 30 minutes of training per week. I kid you not. He used to like come back home after work on Friday, go for a quick run, do a quick like push up and pull up workout, right? 30 minutes. Go to bed. That was it for the rest of the week. Like 30 minutes a week of working out. Never tracked a single calorie, right? He would snap a picture and send it to me on WhatsApp of exactly what he ate, and I kept track of it, right? It's like a done for you fitness system. He got shredded while barely thinking about it, and he was still working 110 hours a week. That didn't change, but the result of how he looked drastically changed, right? So let me get into the psychology of how we did it first, right? The problem, Noah, he's an investment banker, right? They don't really get time to sit around, okay? Working 110 hours a week. He knew what it felt like to be in shape because he'd been in shape, back in high school. But between the 6 a.m. calls, the client dinners, and the 20-hour days, he got lost in the sauce, man. He got lost in the sauce. Every system he tried was built for someone with free time, and that wasn't him. A lot of you guys probably are engineers. A lot of you guys are in high finance. A lot of you guys are doctors, lawyers. Look, you guys don't have the time to be doing what every other coach is telling you to do. I see a lot of coaches who might also specifically work with South Asians, and they're like, you have to do it this way, right? You have to measure every gram of right. You don't have the time for that. You don't. He had an identity gap. Like he was still living like someone who doesn't train and doesn't have, he was still living like someone that had the time to work out and train. And he was trying to build a system around, doing everything perfect, and it didn't work. The physique never matched his work ethic because he couldn't stay consistent with what he was trying to do, and there was no backing behind it. It was like a sandcastle, right? It was bound to fall apart, right? So we had to build him a structure. He had a constant restart cycle, and every single time he looked in the mirror, he just, it was like killing his confidence, right? He's trying and trying and trying again, but it wasn't him. It was the system. And this is what he was missing. A system that runs on minimal input, right? A coach who handles his thinking. He essentially outsourced fitness and his physique to me, and nutrition that actually fits his 22-hour day life, right? So, my philosophy behind it. Your client doesn't have a discipline issue. More likely than not, people that come to me, at least, like, I would never work with a client who has a discipline issue. But I work with a lot of clients who have a time issue, right? And mainly for the people who have a time issue, they have a system issue. So you got to fix the system, and the results handle themselves. So, number one, we're going to remove the cognitive load. So the high-performing professional does not need more information. He needs to take the decisions off his plate entirely. So send me a photo of exactly what you're eating. I'll handle the rest, right? Number two, nutrition that fits his life and not the other way around, right? Client dinners, late nights. He was ordering in, and none of it is a problem, right? That can stay. That's what people don't get. That's what coaches don't understand. Oh, you got to cut out the client dinners, right? Bring meal prep. What? No. Just do what you're doing. Just track it, right? Because if we track it on the days where you're doing that, we can cut back a little bit on the days where, things are a little bit more smooth, right? Or before you go out to dinner, send me a menu like he did. Quick snap of the menu. Within 5 minutes, I'm calling him. Yeah, just get this. That's all you need, right? 0 meal prep required. Number 3, fitness is a vehicle, not the destination. When a high performer gets his body right, everything else sharpens. He was placed number 1 at his class at work, okay? And he works at a pretty prestigious bank. Like, okay, he's a dog. Don't get me wrong. But, fitness will sharpen your professional life 100%. You're confident, your presence, how he carries himself in the boardroom, whatever, corporate and beyond, right? So this is my done for you coaching system. Phase 1, we're going to raise the consciousness. We're going to build awareness around every food choice without apps, right? Like, we use MyFitnessPal just to get a sense, but realistically, we're not relying on MyFitnessPal. We're relying on you learning how to track your food, right? By eyeballing. Nutrition calibrated for a schedule and late nights. Photo check-ins replace everything, and it's designed to be frictionless, right? Like, you don't want to go into a program being like, oh, I gotta do it, especially if you got 100 million other things to do, right? So reduce the friction. Go in, just send me a picture. Great. Number 2, suffocating resistance, okay? This is where 99% people fall off, because if your coach isn't on you like a hawk, it might not work. So I make sure that I give him weekly adjustments depending on what he needs. And if we need to push his calories low, I'm doing that, right? Phase 3, cementing the new identity. Like, the old identity is dead, right? He was acting like someone who didn't know how to train, didn't know how to work out, who thought that it took 2 hours a day, every single day, to get in the dream physique. And his body showed for it, right? He was bloated, lacked confidence, and had a pretty negative identity for himself. I came in, sharpened that right up. The old identity is dead. Now we lock in on the new one permanently. Nutrition flexibility, social eating, lifestyle integration. This bleeds into everything. Career presence, confidence, and how he carries himself. Everything was amplified with the physique, right? And as a result, look at that, man. From bloated 156 pounds to 20 pounds down, right? And still sorry, been out of it, bro. Worked 110 hours recently, got too lost in the work. Still working 110 hours a week, and yet the physique is drastically different. How would you feel if you could make a transformation like this in 50 days, less than 2 months, right? Probably feel pretty freaking good. I would feel good. But nonetheless, if you guys want to make a transformation like this, you know what to do. Book a call below and let's talk. We'll see if I can help you, right? But with that said, thank you guys for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.